My name is Olayemi Olapade. Number one, you must have formal training and you must do apprenticeship with some people that you learn more after the formal training to know about more practical. Then you can start practicing. I read marine engineering and I sailed for 9 years. I rose up to the rank of second engineer on board the ship. And as a marine engineer, you work with diesel engine, petrol engine, even plumbing, electrical. You do everything is combined together because when you're aboard the ship, you are sailing. Everything that any further developed when you're sailing is the engineer you fix it from radio to plumbing. You do the sewage system, mechanical, electrical, diesel engine, and petrol engine. So you do everything, including the boiler and the oil water separators. From my training, I just choose one aspect from the 10th thing that I learned so far that I'm working before. I can work on diesel engine very well. If I want to divert there, I just choose automobile. That's a gasoline engine to work on. And not I'm still working on diesel cars, but not industrial diesel engine like Mark truck, Caterpillar. But I have training in all. So I started this. I registered my company now around 18 years ago. Since then, I've been working and I've trained a lot of people. What I know is that the lecturers, they have to do the training program for the lecturers. Like one of the school I knew somewhere, and they're still training them out they're still working on carburetor engine. Carburetor is far backwards. Understand? We are now using injector. We've moved ahead of that. There's a lot of technology that's coming on now. Before the motor is virtually like the cars they are using now, like something like a computer, because you put machine on it, it tell you the fault that is it's just like when you do diagnosis for human being, where you are say go and do test. So we do the test for cars and you give all the result. You work on that result to solve the problem. Not like before that they will just be listening to the noise of the engine. It's not making you just be adjusting, listening to it. It's computer that does everything. That's what we call mechatronics now. So they need to retrain the lecturers to put latest technology there. Like we now, we do good send ourselves for further training abroad. At times, just go, understand maybe 2 weeks, just go and learn about new technology and come back and apply it. As these people they call them roadside mechanics, but all our members, the NATA members, to be precise in Lagos State, we are doing training and retrain for them. Like Mobi is sponsoring us for training. The 100 is doing that. A lot of companies are doing that. We are sending our boys, the mechanics training, the painter, we are sending them to training, the panel beaters. So we are upgrading the system gradually. It's not a day that we flush the idea. It's a gradual process. And most of them that cannot lettered, they are going to have some problem. But the incoming ones now, we are now having a lot of graduates in the system now, which they are trainable. The small thing they will be able to research on it to add more to this. So definitely in the next future, there's hope. It's a lot of hopes in the industry. Actually, there's no car I can't work on, but I just choose to work on European cars. That's we're talking BMW, Mercedes Benz, talk about Range Rover, all European cars. Volkswagen, Audi, all of them are under European cars. So I just choose to. But even if my customers, I'm working this BMW, have a Toyota, is the problem Toyota, I can work on it. All of them have the same principles. And it's only in Nigeria you see that people are working on car, they don't use a workshop manual. We have a workshop manual for every car. There's a torque sequences, the tightness sense. It's not like you just use spanner to tight, you must use the torque wrench to know the torque, this thing. There's a timing tools. You have all the required tools to work on vehicle. You'll be able to do any car. You have a basic principle. Mechanical is very broad. You understand? You work the lifts. Understand? There's excavators under mechanical. There's plumbing is under mechanical. Is air conditioning, it's under mechanical. Then we're talking air dust systems under mechanical. You understand? It's just like marine. I work on AC. I work on board the ship carrier before. Then we have to fix the code rule. You understand? So we teach you everything. It's just like when you do your masters, you reduce it. When you do your PhD, you focus on one. So when you do your first degree, you broad it. You train on everything, but later you now do reducing it. So as a mechanical student, I think they are doing automobile in some schools now. So when if you read automobile, then they've translated to only automobile, not broad as mechanical. So we now talk about mechatronics, programming, coding. You understand? Talk about electrical. Apart from mechatronics, is acts of programming and coding and this thing. There's electrical aspect as well, but they match everything to mechatronics now, because the vehicle now, before they are not using ECU, we call it brain box, engine control units. Those are the things that control the ignition system. At right time, you send the fuel. When the spark is necessary, you send it. Everything is being timing, it's being programmed on this thing. So most of the vehicle we are using now, at times, just like Android phone, you update the software on the ECU for better performance. At times, you just see that your vehicle just bringing one particular check engine light and you work on it. You fix everything, check engine lights. At times, when you flash the ECU, the brain box, you flash it, you put another software there. You upgrade the software. Everything will normalize. If it's consuming fuel, it can reduce. A lot of things, you see a lot of better performance on it. That's a mechatronics, programming, and electrical. With everything is now compiled together as mechatronics. I'm not a painter or panel beater, but I have a painter that is working for me, I have panel beater, me on engine and electrical. Immediately the car is brought in, first thing you use a job card. You interview the owner of the car. What does you feel about the car? What's your complaints? You note down the complaints. So use a job card, test drive with the person. If it's individual, if it's a company, you definitely have to bring it and the driver will go. But you take a few questions from the drivers, then you test drive. When you come back, you scan it. So what you notice when you are driving, when you scan, drive again. You raise it, you raise the fault code, you drive again, then you bring it again. Check whether those fault codes, some of them when you raise, they came back. That's one of the major problems. You have to attend to that one first. Two, what do you notice? Maybe it's for jacking at that speed. Maybe they complain that the vehicle jacks. If they complain about noise, listen to which kind of noise are you? Is it from the suspension? Is it from suspension? Is it linkage? Is it stabilizer bushing? Is it lower arm? And that is it brake pads pin that is making noise? You will be able to isolate the fault. So understand. So you list common problems and symptoms, and what you start eliminating method that if it's misfiring now, say okay, if it's firing, what can cause misfiring? It can be plugs, it can be coil, it can be nozzle, it can be a flow meter. You understand? So when you list all the items, you check the plug, the plugs are okay. You understand? You solve the problem by eliminating problem. And don't forget, the brain box itself, the ECU, can still call the misfiring if it's not working again, if it's bad. You understand? So you start eliminating the problem one by one to when you get to the last one that this is the main problem. One of the major challenges we are facing is the insurance now. There's no particular policy for workshop owner and insurance, just like the third party. We spoke to a lot of insurance companies to underwrite a policy for us as a mechanic, because a lot of risk associated with it. When you are test driving, as they can occur, fire can occur, that's natural disaster. Flood can occur, that's natural disaster. We have seen the cases here that we parked the vehicle overnight in the garage and rain fell and everything was flooded. You understand? We need insurance to cover the garage, not as a dealer. No, there's insurance for the car dealer. We as a garage, maybe they should be able to ride the way they ride these policies. Those factors are like in the advanced country, in the Western world. You want to be a mechanic, you go to vocational school, technical school to do it. But in Nigeria, we always like certificate. Everyone wants to go to university. The best idea is that the government should create technical school, vocational school, and make sure they have their what do you call it? We have a sector skill council now that's giving the certificate. They are using this trade test now in Nigeria. So they should be able, after the technical school, be able to get your this thing. And you know, one of the challenges is that the wages, what they are paying us for labor in Nigeria is too small compared to what we render as a service. You understand? Our economy might not be able to pay well, but they should be able to earn well. If you are using 40 million naira car or 20 million naira car, you'll be able to afford to buy spare part of almost 300,000 naira. After the work, maybe the man hour you put on the work to finish the work is going to like 9-10 hours. At the end of the day, you now see 30,000 naira, but they will not be asking why. Understand? They don't value the job to pay per hour, which is supposed to be like a contract everywhere in the world. The job is like now. You see two people working on a car for 2 hours. That's 4 man hour. You want to pay them for labor. They don't do that. Like painters now, throughout the world, they have a standard rating for what do we call it? Rates, payment rates. You understand? We don't have. We are trying to do that one. The state, our association is trying to put that one together, so they have a standard rate. You will not be cheated, and people are not going to cheat you. You won't be able to cheat the mechanic. Mechanic will not be able to do shallow job for you, because if you pay peanuts, you end up with monkeys. When somebody drain the oil for you, change the oil, change the filter and everything, you'll be able to afford to buy 50,000 naira worth of engine oil, or filter 15,000 naira, air filter maybe 20,000. At the end of the day, maybe spend an hour. Now I say, okay, let me give you something. I say, you want to help the person. You are not helping me. It renders some service for you. Understand? Pay him according to what he deserves. You know, say, let me give you 1,000 naira. Who does that? What does that one? What can that one afford in this our economy? It's not even up to transport. So it makes people not to be sincere, because you know it's not going to pay. For instance, now, if you want to change the crash surface in a car, the crash surface is around 3,000 or 4,000 naira in the market. But you have to remove engine to change it. So by the time you finish now, say crash surface 3,000, 4,000, labor for changing engine, to change the crash surface, say 20,000. They'll be asking you, are you with your senses? You bought 4,000 naira still, and you want to take 20,000 naira for labor. So then the mechanic will now switch, reverse it now, say crash surface 20,000, labor 4,000, just to make his money. But we need to be sincere. So we pay them according to the services. If we render a service for you, he's not doing it because he's using his own level of expertise. He's trained to do that. You cannot do. That's why I gave him to do. If you can do it, why can't you do this yourself? You understand? So that's my concern. And then another thing, Rolls-Royce and BMW, they are using the same spare parts. You understand? The same person that is working on BMW work on Rolls-Royce. And the labor on Rolls-Royce is 10 labor on the BMW. You understand? And the same paper, the same procedure, the same way of doing everything. The same thing with Maybach and Mercedes-Benz. It's owned by the same company. They are using the same spare parts. Because one is premium, the price is higher. The one is not cheap as well. They are selling one 140 million. They can maybe they're selling the second one 60 million naira. Both of them are close to hundreds of millions of naira. But the labors are not the same thing in Nigeria. People that are using Rolls-Royce, I understand, that's my Rolls-Royce mechanic. And Rolls-Royce mechanic is the one that is doing BMW, because you are giving Rolls-Royce to tell you that I'm working on Rolls-Royce alone. Which is the same car with Mini Cooper. Rolls-Royce, BMW, America, they are using the same parts. They have right to their opinion anyway. It's a dirty job because of the society we find ourselves in Nigeria. Understand? In US, mechanic can put on white clothes and work on a car, because they work indoors. You understand? And they have access to right tools. You know, there's one saying in America, if you are sweating, you are working, you are sweating. Either you don't have tools or don't know what you are doing. You understand? So if you have the right tools, you can remove an engine without sweating. When you have this is a post lift, you can jack motor up on it. If you want to work under it easily, instead of using manual jack and this like that and sleeping on the floor. So you work on it. If you are using two post lift, you want to remove engine, you just hang it up, you bring it down. If you want to remove the suspension, you just jack it up, and when you remove it up, something will bring it down. And you want to reverse the other. You understand? If you want to work on anything, even the hot place, you use hand glove. You want to understand, so there is no way the oil can enter under your fingernails like this place. We say a lot of mechanics is oil here, so that's why they call it dirty job. It's not a dirty job. Understand? What about civil engineers? Is it not a dirty job as well? So it depends the way you package yourself. Understand? Because we don't see bank facilities to airport to set up workshops. There you see a lot of people roadside mechanics, and there is no certification that compare you that if you don't have certificate, you will not be able to work. In abroad, you are not certified, you will not be able to do a certain job on a car. You understand? But here, just learn work, informal this thing, and go and open. Just carry your bag, tools inside one bag. Even to the extent that a lot of them will go and work in their customer's house. I want something, let me tell you something. If anything happens in their house, maybe the robbers came there, and 3 people visited the owner, maybe the medical doctor, the lawyer, and the mechanics. The police is going to interrogate, who are you suspecting? I say, I don't have any fees apart from my mechanic. You understand? Mechanic render service. That's why I keep on telling our people, if any motor spoil in the owner's house, let them tow it to your workshop to avoid. Understand? If anything happens, you are the number one suspect. But what I observe, what I know is that most schools, when they normally do 1 year industrial tenure COS, or what do you call it. So by the time you do your 1 year, I've trained a lot of people like that, from Columbia University to Ladoke, a lot of them like that. So what you just need to do, just look for a good workshop that have equipment. Go and do 1 year training there. From there you gain a lot of things. By the time you finish, when you want to serve again, look for another workshop, let them post you there. So within 2 years, you'll be able to gain something that give you tangible to go and work. Other one company to gain like 2 or 3 years. You understand? Not everybody will work with Kocharis. Not everybody will work with Toyota Nigeria Limited. There are still a lot of workshops that they are doing well. It's a welcome idea. It's a good idea. Understand? Just like because of the way the young people are looking for money nowadays, it makes it difficult for them to learn, to acquire skill. You know that if you can press a computer, somebody just send you as $100 or things like that. Say if I'm doing mechanic, before I invested like 8 months, a year, and I start working. Understand? They're just looking for money, and what Yoruba ni later fitomo, Yoruba. Understand? If you acquire wealth in a fraudulent way, it won't last. Only so you have to sweat to make your money. You have to use your ideas. You have to use your brain to make money. So if they can submit yourself and go to that kind of institution, learn from there, they will gain a lot, and they will be able to fend for their family. Not everybody is going to be a white collar job. We are blue collar job. And according to statistics, informal sector contributed over 5 million. We have over 5 million informal sector in Lagos State here. Total service people, this thing, workforce, over 7 million. So if 7 million, 5 million are informal sectors. So informal sector hold the key to the economy. Who are the informal sector? The mechanic, the bricklayer, the vulcanizer, the welders. Understand? Those are the informal sector. Yaloja and Co. They are the informal sector. If we can contribute to 5 million people to the economy, you understand? So we hold the economy. In every country, the informal sector hold the economy. You understand? I'm not talking about the Yahoo boys. They are not. They don't belong to any sectors. Those ones are called transfer economy. Those are betting. People that do betting, that transfer economy. Just take it from one, give to another through transfer. They don't have anything to do with informal sectors. I'm thinking about people that are really contributing. Without mechanics, there won't be movement. And without movement, you understand? There won't be economy. And without economy, country will paralyze. So we create a major role. We have to fix the car for driver to drive it. If the car is bad, there's nothing driver is going to drive. Nobody can push a car from here to Ibadan. You understand? To go and load food. So we have to work on it. So we drive the economy. So we are key in the sector, in the economy sector. So government refuses to recognize us, but we force ourselves to then recognize us. Mechanical, if you strike for 3 days, you see a lot of road will block. Electrical will overheat, breakages. You understand? Because even the tow vehicle you want to call, maybe it's in mechanic village, working on it. You understand? Within 3 days, everywhere will block. There won't be food from north, because when the vehicle that is bringing food from north, break down the way, who is going to repair it? You need mechanic. You understand? So we add value. We are the main thing. The driver just like conveying ready-made products, just taking it, just means of transportation. Without us working on the car, if the brake fails, driver will be looking at the car. Can't do anything. So they need us. Economy needs us. My advice for everybody, maybe you are been in the industry before or just coming, make yourself available for training. There's a lot of training going on. Automotive is ready to train some of mechanics now. Understand? Mobi is doing that. Wando is doing it. And a lot of people, even I volunteer myself for NATAS, we send people here for training. You understand? We keep on learning, we keep on training. We might be doing online, I might be doing online training, but if I say anywhere I can impart my training on people, I'll tell them, let them train them. We don't hide the ideas. In Nigeria, we have a culture of individual having ideas. We know how to do one particular thing. If you ask them, say, don't worry. At the time they want to do work, they will send you away. So you can do that olden days. 80% of the problem we are doing now is online. You understand? So if you know that maybe you are not lettered, you can't read and write, let people read it. Go and meet people that read it and they can teach you the language you understand. We can train them in Yoruba. Not everything is in English. My name is Olayemi Olapade. I'm the MD CEO, Digital Automobile Nigeria Limited.